WPTV.
Welcome back to the desk. Both baseball and softball are in full swing, with both teams trying to make a run into the NJAC tournament. Here to discuss everything going around on both base paths is Matthew Jinks, Sean Buck, David Gordon, and Kellie Owens. The softball team snapped a 4-game losing streak on Wednesday, winning 8-1 against Mount St. Mary College. Jinks, break down this game for us.
Thank you, Coop. The Pioneers had a dominant performance against the Knights, winning the game 8-1, out hitting them with 11 hits compared to the Knights' 7, committing 0 errors, and Mount St. Mary's had 1, and they ended up striking out 9 thanks to Lila Guthrie, and the Knights only struck out 3 of the Pioneers.
Yeah, big way to get off the schneid and bounce back with a big win. Jinx, I'll keep it with you. How did they bounce back and get away out this slump?
Well, it was because my show was on.
Yeah, of course.
The Lila Guthrie show. 7 innings, 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts, complete game. Not a single walk from Guthrie the entire game. Her command was so impressive, and she proves day in and day out why she's the ace and she can go out there and shove. And it's the season finale of the Lila Guthrie show, and it's the best one yet. We're going out with a bang.
Yeah, she had 9 Ks in this game. Big performance from her. David, I'll swing it to you.
Yeah, for me, it's got to be consistent run scoring. They scored they scored runs in 4 out of 6 innings, including 3 in the 5th and the 6th. And when you score runs, in later innings, it really sets you up for success, which is why it gave them breathing room so the pitchers had no worry about possibly giving up too many runs to tie the game. So run support is key, just getting runs and scoring it in a consistent basis throughout many games is very key in success.
Yeah, Buck, where are we going with this one? How'd they get off the schneid?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was a really close game, up until the 5th inning. It was a 2-1 game, so it was really still anyone's game. But it was jumping on McDonald late. You had, in the bottom of the 5th, Megan Tingner and Kelsey Gertz combining for 3 RBIs. And this bottom of the 6th, you had Haley Bacco and Samantha Campos also combining for 3 RBIs. So the Pioneers' ability to jump on McDonald late really propelled them to victory in this one.
Kellie, round us out here.
Yeah, I got to call that game, and it was a very exciting game, like Buck said. But going back to what Jinx said about the Lila Guthrie show, the pitching was just on point in this matchup. Lila Guthrie with the 9 Ks, pitching all 7 innings. She was not backing down in this fight. And going into NJAC play, especially this weekend against the King Cougars, it's got to be like that. It has to be consistent. The pitching has to be consistent. It hasn't really been consistent in the beginning of this season. So starting off like this, going into the King Cougars game on Saturday, is just going to set them up for success.
Yeah, with the help of Lila Guthrie, it's propelling them in the right direction as they try to push forward to the NJAC tournament. The Pioneers have struggled in the NJAC playoffs or play this season, starting off 2-6. Kellie, I'll go to you here. Why haven't the Pioneers been able to figure it out here in the NJAC?
The on-field performance has just not been up to what the Pioneer standards should be. I mean, they've been letting things go by. I saw it with my own eyes. They would let things go by, or they would just stare at the ball drop in front of them. That's not a recipe for success. That is just not. So the on-field performance was really what was killing them in the beginning of this season for them to be 2-6 in the NJAC.
Yeah, they got to clean that up if they want to make a run here in the tournament. Jinx.
I think they're just failing to connect as a team. Despite the games against Rutgers and Newark, which you have to give it to them, they played great in those 2 games. The pitching and offense has just not shown up in NJAC games. For example, doubleheader against TCNJ, 8-0 Mercy Rule in 5 innings, followed by a close 3-2 loss. Then Montclair doubleheader, 3-2 loss in 8 innings, 8-0 Mercy Rule. So the offense and pitching have not shown up. And then when the pitching does perform and keeps the game close, the offense fails to give them any run support. So I think they just got to work together. It's kind of like how your car has to, all the parts of your car work there. So if your transmission fails on your way to Hamilton Hall, it's not going to work out. You're not going to win games.
Fun fact, my car battery died last year in the back of Hamilton Hall.
See, another great example. So they just have to work together, and they got to connect as a team.
Yeah, well done with that example. You did a terrific job with that one. David, what have you seen from the Pioneers in NJAC play?
Well, I'm going to say the opposite of what I said in the previous question. This time, in NJAC play, they have no run support. As Jinx mentioned, they lost 9-1 to Stockton, 8-0 to TCNJ, and 8-0 to Montclair. In those 3 games, they struck out 19 times. it just seemed that the bats went quiet because those teams that they faced pitching was on point. So it seems that they struggle against good pitching. So if they want to compete in this NJAC, they have to score runs, which is key in any NJAC game.
Buck, finishes off with your analysis.
Yeah, I mean, you guys all make great points, but sometimes softball and even baseball, it's not so much statistics that you have to look at. Is there something going on in the mental aspect for the Pioneers? Are they facing a lot of pressure? Last season, they missed the NJAC playoffs in Kathy Hill's first season as a head coach, and they had a pretty consistent appearance in the NJAC playoffs up until that point. So is there something going on mentally with the Pioneers that when they do face an NJAC opponent that they aren't able to, get it done? Because outside of conference, their record is pretty good, and that's kind of what's propelling them to stay within the NJAC playoffs and kind of the NJAC, overall standings. But honestly, I have no fear that the Pioneers are going to get it done. Pressure makes diamonds, and I think the Pioneers are going to get it done. They'll flip things around this season, and I think that they are going to be a lock for the NJAC playoffs.
Yeah, no, mental kind of is a huge part of the sport, or any sport, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah, over to the baseball side of things, the Pioneers won in a close game against Rutgers Newark yesterday, 6-5. Buck, I'll go to you here. What player has stood out to you?
Yeah, so, pretty ironic here, but I'm going to go with Sean Lauderhan. His bat, honestly, has not only been there all season. However, what's been keeping him in the lineup is his defensive ability. He's a lock in the outfield. Center field, he's able to track down baseballs 100%. His range of, just being able to track down baseballs has been able to keep him in the lineup. But he did come up clutch yesterday. He stole home to tie the game for the Pioneers and ultimately led them to beat Rutgers Newark. So that huge confidence that Sean Lauderhan now has, hopefully it'll transpire to the plate and he can start getting bat on ball and start producing in the batting average category.
Yeah, the Sean Lauderhan has improved with his confidence, and it just skyrocketed his play overall. Kelly, where are you going with this?
You gotta give me Jordan Brown here. Yep. I mean, me and Buck went to LaPlume, Pennsylvania for the Keystone game, and Buck was always talking about how he's hot dogging at second base. When he gets on the base, you have to watch out for him. The opponents have to watch out for him. You never know when he's going to steal. He has a set of wheels on him. Recording 3 hits this season, he has 1 RBI. But when you get him on the bags, he's going to get in. He's going to get in one way or another.
100%.
Yeah, Jordan Brown can steal some pillows, and they need that going forward.
Lots of pillows.
Yeah, a lot of pillows. Jinx, I kind of know where you're going with this one. A friend of our show, but talk to me about Nick Durso.
Sports desk analyst Nick Durso is a guy who impresses me day in and day out, not just in this game, but he came in a 1-run game and shut down this team. 1, 2, 3 no hits allowed, no earned runs, and he might be the best closer in the NJAC. 1.64 ERA in 11 innings pitched. Again, that's as a closer, so that's 8 appearances, 5 saves, 12 strikeouts. Every time he needs to come in and get a clutch save for the Pioneers in close games, he's been able to pull through, and he's one of those guys you can rely on. You need that in playoff baseball, especially in the NJAC format. So he's going to be a really key factor for this Pioneers team in the future.
Have you seen him get extremely hyped on the mound after?
Oh, yeah.
It is a sight to see. It's the greatest thing ever. Yeah, no, I agree with you. He's one of the best.
And I love his glasses too, the sports specs.
Yeah.
Shout out the sports specs.
Yeah.
4th grade Sean Buck used to rock them.
Yeah. Nick Durso, to say the least, is a big-time closer for the Pioneers. David, finished off. What player do you want to highlight?
I'm also going to go with a pitcher. He was very good. JT Puglisi, he had 3 innings pitched, no runs, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, and he really did what any middle inning reliever is supposed to do. And honestly, I would say for the Pioneers that this was one of the best relief performances by a relief pitcher for the Pioneer baseball team this season.
Yeah, the Pioneers have a big weekend with 3 more conference games. They play Rutgers Newark later this afternoon, and they have a doubleheader against Kane tomorrow. David, give us a preview of today's matchup.
I would love to. So we start off with the Pioneers, who coming into it 286 batting average to the Raiders 314. Pioneers have a 758 OPS to the Raiders 866. Pioneers have an ERA of 6.73, and the Raiders have an 8.91. And a whip of 183 for the Pioneers to the Raiders 203.
Yeah, David, I'll keep it with you. What are your keys to victory for the Pioneers in order to secure a big victory against Rutgers Newark?
Yeah, I honestly think it's making plays in the field. In the game I called against Drew, the Pioneers misplayed some balls that were hit into the outfield, some drop throws at first base, So honestly, it's just all about having a good route to the ball, making good throws in the infield, getting in front of the ball, things like that. And if they can eliminate small little mistakes like that, I think they have a good chance to, beat Rutgers Newark.
Yeah, playing clean baseball is key for the Pioneers here to beat Rutgers Newark. Buck, I'll go to you.
Yeah, I mean, we saw yesterday the Pioneers were able to hit the ball very effectively and also field the ball pretty effectively. But it's really the starting pitching that I have to look at and kind of want to say, Pioneers, you got to figure it out. Because you have Rob Nathan, who is scheduled to be on the bump, but he's your ace. We've had the 2, 3, 4 guys really step up. But if Rob Nathan can figure it out, come out here against Rutgers Newark and pitch 4, 5, 6, 7 innings scoreless, that would be a great performance for Rob Nathan and really solidify this 1, 2, 3, 4 rotation that the Pioneers can go into NJAC play, later this season with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, the Pioneers certainly need the pitching to shine. Kellie, I'll go to you.
Speaking of confidence, that's exactly what the Pioneers need. I feel like that the statement game was against the 21-ranked Montclair State Redhawks, coming out with a victory 16-14. It was almost nearly a 4-hour game. That right there gave them the confidence to come out and be victorious in this close game against Rutgers Newark. But going into this game as well, they need that confidence. The confidence has to be up. The momentum to get into this win, it has to be there. I just haven't seen it in the losses throughout the season, so the confidence has to be there.
Yeah, I mean, the confidence is got to be up for the Pioneers, and if they have that, then they certainly can push past Rutgers Newark.
Absolutely.
Jinxie, we kind of mentioned the pitching in this question, but talk to me about why you think the pitching is key.
Yeah, just backing what Buck said, they need lockdown pitching. Rutgers Newark is a better team offensively, but their biggest weakness is pitching. We're much better, stronger as a pitching staff than Rutgers Newark. But I'm not entirely worried about that team. I'm more worried about going this weekend against Kane. You're going to have to rely on guys such as Jose Marte. And, Rob, you said Rob Nathan's pitching today. I would rather see him pitch against Kane, against a ranked team in the country. But the game today against Rutgers Newark is all about just limiting the small mistakes and just not allowing free bases and just playing how you've been playing baseball like the whole season. Against a team that's on paper worse than you, they shouldn't have a problem. But going into this weekend against Kane, they're going to have to really lock in on the pitching side.
This is the biggest part of the season right now, and wins are they're going to need wins at an alarming rate to make this NJAC playoffs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that will do it for Pioneer baseball and softball this week. Stay tuned because next we have the NHL and the PWHL with Baylee Matthews and their crew next on WPTV.